For our latest State of Go-to-Market report, we asked hundreds of go-to-market pros to identify the most important factors for a successful launch, and 2 responses came up more than anything: messaging and positioning. Hello, I'm Jack, and welcome back to the Go-to-Market Alliance YouTube channel. Today, we're going to take a look at messaging and positioning and how you can use them to craft a brand identity that will be irresistible to your target audience. Let's jump right in. Messaging and positioning can sometimes be confused, but although they're related, these are distinct concepts that need to be considered separately. Positioning is the process of finding your product's place in the market and is done in relation to your competitors. The goal is to position your product or brand in a way that sets it apart from the herd. To do this, you of course need to know who your target customer is, who your competitors are, and what differentiated value your product can bring to the market. Messaging, on the other hand, is how you communicate this value to your prospective customers. It's how you shape your customers' perception of your product, both through their interactions with your brand and the content they see. So without good positioning, it's impossible to have effective messaging. As part of your go-to-market strategy, you'll be designing the positioning and messaging for the products and capabilities you launch. But if you're in a startup, there's a little something extra on your plate: creating positioning and messaging to shape the identity of the brand itself. In highly competitive and saturated markets, your brand needs to stand out from the crowd. This means building an identity that's recognizable and synonymous with the products you offer. You want to be the Apple of smartphones, the Coke of the soda world, the Real Madrid of soccer. In the startup world, it's all about building trust and excitement around your brand. Remember, people flock to brands like Apple because they trust and love them. Your goal? Be the brand that people can't stop talking about. So, how can you make this happen? Step 1, understand your market. Positioning is all about knowing your playground. That means your market, your competitors, and of course, your own brand. You're going to be defining yourself against what's already out there so you can show why you're different. Step 2, get to know your competitors. Start doing some homework on your rivals. What's their game plan? What do they do well and where do they struggle? Doing this research is going to help you find that special something in your brand. Maybe a unique aspect of your product or a gap that others haven't filled. That's your golden ticket for positioning, identifying that differentiated value that you can bring to the market. And it all starts with getting to know your rivals. Step 3, craft your positioning statement. Once you've got your positioning figured out, boil it down to a snappy positioning statement. This is a short paragraph, no more than 2 sentences, that demonstrates your unique value to customers. Think of it as your brand's elevator pitch, but just for internal use. A positioning statement isn't public facing, but it's important that everyone in your company, especially your go-to-market stakeholders, is familiar with it. This is going to guide your marketing campaigns, sales strategies, launch activities, and more. You're looking to create a cohesive and trustworthy brand, so everyone in your company needs to be enabled on your positioning statement and keep it in mind no matter what they're working on. And the thing most guided by your positioning will be your messaging. Let's explore a few tips that will help you get it right. Tip 1, think long term. If you want to succeed, you need to think long term. That's where value-based messaging and brand marketing come in. You want your customers to trust you, believe in what you're doing, and keep coming back to your products. That means using your messaging to demonstrate your value to your customers. Tip number 2, stay agile and relevant. Your messaging needs to keep up with what matters to your customers at any given time. Who are they? What do they care about? What problems are they facing? And how does your product make their day better? Tip number 3, steer clear of technical jargon. Avoid reeling off lists of features and product specs. Customers aren't really interested in what your product can do so much as they're interested in what it can do for them. This is why understanding customer needs is essential. Your messaging should always boil down to what you're doing for the customer and why you're doing it better than anyone else. Tip number 4, speak to the right crowd. Don't make the mistake of trying to appeal to every customer, or you'll probably end up appealing to no one. Identify your target market and lock them down by creating messaging that resonates with them specifically. Tip number 5, keep it human. Even in the corporate world, your messaging needs a human touch. People crave personal connections, not a robotic interaction. Your messaging should feel like a conversation, not a lecture, making it relatable and genuine. Tip number 6, be customer-centric. Finally, remember this golden rule: always bring it back to your customer. Your messaging isn't just part of your PR strategy or a guideline for customer-facing teams. It's the heartbeat of your brand's relationship with the world. Make sure it clearly shows the value you bring to the table, because at the end of the day, it's all about them. That's a wrap on creating a magnetic brand identity and messaging strategy for your startup. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll dive into how you can validate and secure buy-in for your positioning and messaging strategy. See you there.